Hello and welcome to the Ant-Man channel. This is Wednesday the 6th of March 2013 and it is a pretty chill afternoon going into the evening over here on the Pacific side of things. I got an article in front of me from WND Politics. Glenn Beck, I've lost faith. Time to surrender. Says dying America is gurgling. We've got our hand on the wound. Okay, whatever. Wannabe Alex Jones. Alright, Joe Kovacs is the author of this article, and he is an award-winning journalist since 1999, executive news editor of WND. He is the author of two best-selling books, Shocked by the Bible, The Most Astonishing Facts You've Never Been Told, which I've never read, but reading his, his description, his profile every time I read an article from him kind of makes me now want to read that, because, every time I read it, it just never occurs to me that I've never read it for some reason. And its 2012 sequel, The Divine Secret, The Awesome and Untold Truth About Your Phenomenal Destiny. Seems like he's written some books that are pretty interesting, maybe if we have a couple bucks to spare, maybe go, buy a copy and look into it. Anyway, and I'm not praising Joe Kovacs for no reason, I don't really, he wrote an article the other day about the Bible series that I didn't really agree with at all. I think he was very critical on the, it is the #1 show in America right now, and it broke records on the History Channel, that's a fact. And, so with Joe Kovacs, I don't know, but it looks like he's got an article here anyway. Claiming that America is hemorrhaging and headed rapidly toward death, media giant Glenn Beck says he's lost faith in many of the institutions that have made the U.S. such a great country, and it's time to surrender. When the government says they can use drones and just kill us without a warrant or a trial, my gosh, America certainly is dead, Beck said during his broadcast Tuesday night. It's barely occurring to them right now that we've been in trouble for the last, we've been going on a whole, mudslide of a downhill spiral in this entire thing for a long time, since before I was born, that's a long time. And it's barely occurring to some people, that the government hasn't been being run very well as of late. Anyway, he says, I've lost faith in my government. I've lost faith in the media, in banking, the justice system, some of our big city police departments. I think I just didn't have faith in the DMV 15 years ago. Now I question everything. I don't have faith in any of it. Well, yeah. I actually, if you guys want, I'll reference it to you. It's very cool. Bible and America is a channel on YouTube. And I just saw a video that they posted today about Davy Crockett. And if you guys want to get really, into the Constitution and learning the three branches of government, how you're supposed to defend the Constitution and all those in every way, shape, and form, you should look back at some of the founding fathers and some of the people like Davy Crockett who served in Congress and were, people who got their hands dirty. Anyway, but Beck said he realized he wasn't supposed to have faith in any of those things and proffered the tactic of surrender. I remember that surrender is an important way of winning. You're powerless over it, and you are. We're powerless over anything that happens in Washington. And so what do? You try to make amends for the things that you've done wrong. You try to live differently. Take an inventory and then you take control of the things you can. And you work hardest on those. He continued, just as I don't have faith in anything I mentioned, my faith grows in my family and in God. I raise my kids and I make sure I'm listening as closely as I can. This is where we're supposed to be, faithless in everything that man has created and putting our faith and our time and our energy into everything that God has created. Whoa, I would never expect something like that come out of Glenn Beck's mouth. But what do you expect? We're living in 2013. The time has been set. We are at, the kingdom of God is at hand, and He is pouring out His Spirit on a lot of people right now. Even in my own life, I see people come up to me, or over some media source. They'll come up to me and say, and ask me, like how it is that I've been getting, putting out the stuff that I have been. And you guys, it's because I read this book, and I pray, and I worship God, and I humble myself in humility to all that is, God. And the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, you guys. And it's, that's the whole point. Was the point of the serpent that beguiled Eve into eating the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil was so that man would understand, the knowledge of good and evil, and then want to, glorify themselves, and then want to be God themselves. That's the great story of mankind. That is why we come short. That is why we fall short of the glory of God, because we know the knowledge of good and evil. We are always to be going back to the shepherd for guidance, to lead us, because you are lost without Him. At one point during his program, the host got down on his hands and knees on the floor of his Texas studio with a U.S. flag, as if he were trying to rescue a dying Lady Liberty. America is hemorrhaging, and some of us have seen the hemorrhaging, he said. And we grab a coat or a blanket, and we're on the ground. And what do? Every time you push something onto the wound to stop the bleeding, he said, acting like he was applying pressure to a bleeding patient. If you've seen this in a movie where there's a body bleeding to death, what do? They're like gurgling. That's what America is doing right now. She's down on the ground, she's gurgling, we've got our hand on the wound, some of us, he exclaimed, continuing to act out the rescue scene. Stay with me, talk to me, don't close your eyes, don't go to sleep, wake up, stay with me. When it gets to that part of the movie, that person usually dies, he said. Their eyes are rolling in the back of their heads. In our case, Lady Liberty in critical condition, but it doesn't have to end that way. As part of this, that was absolutely kind of good, man. Like, I got all into that right now. That was, I can't believe I'm praising Glenn Beck right now, really. He's really a wannabe Alex Jones and all that, and I don't agree with the surrendering part, but anyway, as part of his clarion call, Beck urged parents to remove their children from government-run schools. I'm telling you to get your kids out of these schools. They're indoctrination camps. They are indoctrination camps. They're turning our kids against us. They're turning our kids against all of the values that we ever held. They're wounding them even further. Yeah, you know what? He's right. He is like 100% right and hit the nail on the head with that one. There's nothing more important than our kids. The concept that the individual is greater than the collective, and they are learning the exact opposite in school. Sadly, we have forgotten this. That concludes this entire article that Glenn Beck has shared with us. It is really a blessing to have him come out and say that, especially because of the attention that he gets from the media, to actually point people back to God. And then we have the Bible series coming on every Sunday. That is the top-rated show in all of America, breaking records. There's something going on, you guys. The Spirit is being poured out on you. And now you got people like me that are going to say you have to know the truth. But once you know the truth, then it's your decision to either believe or not believe. And I know that I've been challenged with trying to talk to people about this. Not force feeding them, but people actually come up to me when I'm on my daily thing, and they will notice the stuff that God has given me: peace, joy, etc. People often want to know for their own sake what it is that I have that keeps me at peace and joyful. And sometimes when you tell them the truth, they think you are coming straight out of Cooksville. Because Jesus Christ, you can't see God. So how is it that you believe in something you cannot see? How is it that you can give glory to something? How is it that you could think that there is something greater than yourself? You know, it is the great question that we ask ourselves. And I think that people, thank God, are asking themselves that now. And that is the answer to America, you guys. This country was built on the foundation of Christianity, man. And if you guys don't believe that, then you don't believe in America and the things that made this country great. And you are on the side of it that is pulling the country down, as Glenn Beck is saying, that is stabbing Lady Liberty in the neck. But, you know, sorry if I wasn't too gentle with that, if for some of you who do not accept that you have been duped. But, God bless you guys.